Hi guys, it's ArchieLuxury on the Paul Pluta channel, and we've got an angry paid review. Before we start this is for mats, and this here is a response to my video in AU15. AU15. So let's do a quick wristwatch check, and we're in a Paddock 5296. And let's jump into this review. Hi Arch, this time I paid you 100. Not that I'm impressed by your delivery in the AU15, where you ignored 3 of the 4 watches I asked you about. I've paid you dearly only to make sure that you will remain on YouTube, and employment in a commercial business for you would be a disaster. The Rolex Daytona, which I own since 1975, has been a watch I've used, telling time, you know, in the environment it was designed for. For me, at the sea as a professional skipper for years, it will show that that's life. It wasn't used as some kind of jewelry as by homosexuals to impress other people. Ooh, we love gay men on this channel. We love gay men. It was merely a tool. Who in the 80s would imagine that this watch would be so valuable? It isn't even a real Rolex. That very submersible, no oyster. It is an oyster. No self-wind, no in-house movement. I would argue that people spending 90,000 US for it are, well, you know, these expressions better than I. We don't need to discuss it any further, but I'd like to know a little more about the movement. That's a bit unfair there. I mean, let's be honest there. It uses a Valjoux 727. I got to be honest with you. A lot of makers at that period of time used other movements. Paddock for many years used OMMANEY movements in their many of their grand complications. So I don't think it's really that wrong there. Look, I think honestly you're very lucky to have acquired that piece in your life. You are very lucky to have that fucker. You are extremely lucky to have that piece. And I kind of think you don't appreciate what you have there. So that does concern me. The next thing, the Paddock, which you could not identify. I asked you for the fucking reference number. I mean, there are heaps and heaps of similar looking Paddocks. Okay, I admit the lugs is a little bit unique, but come on, man. You've got to give me some fucking detail. Don't be a cunt holding back the model number. I mean, it's just it's a fairly simple kind of Paddock. It's I mean, my expertise in Paddocks. Look, I'm really a 90s and noughties man. Okay, this here is older than I've really had much to do with. And I need some help, man. You've got to give me the fucking reference number. If you're just going to be an arsehole and say you got this Paddock, that's and you also said it was on a bracelet. I wanted to see the fucking bracelet as well. And you've got to be fucking fair. I think you got the reference number wrong. You said reference seems to be a vintage 1491. I'm not sure that's correct. Let me double check that. I'll come back to you there. So I got to be honest with you, man. You've got to fucking give me the information. Not to be an asshole, but that Paddock reference there, it's a 50s, 60s reference. Work with me. Don't make it fucking hard just to be an asshole, okay? Don't make it hard.
Guys, Mark Goldberg here from Mark Vlogs Watches with a quick word for your friend and mine, ArchieLuxury, Paul Pluta, AC3, Archibald Chesterfield III. You know, he invented the quick wristwatch check, and the rest of us on YouTube, well, we just stole it. Help keep Archie full-time on YouTube by liking this video, watching this video, tell your fuckhead friends, and make sure to subscribe to his Patreon. And now, Archie Luxury.
And then you're having a go at me for the blank pane. You've got a blank pane flyback Monaco YS, serial number 131 of 300, original leather strap, which I bought secondhand at €4,150 in March 2017. Cannot be garbage as you described it. Blank pane is the oldest existing watchmaker. It has an honest mechanical self-winding movement. Tell us about it. If not, the look of it or not is irrelevant. Well, I got to be honest with you. Blank pane, they used a lot of fucking generic Valjoux movements too in the day. That's their history. They used a lot of fucking Valjoux movements. Blank pane itself, I think they're very different to blank pane of yesteryear. You know, I just get this. I think you're missing the point. I mean, the blank pane, I can see it. You've had a good life. Obviously your father was rich. You've done a lot of interesting things, and you think the blank pane's stylish. It's fucking ugly. It's fucking ugly. And I think blank pane is not a good watch for your collection. You could buy a blank pane, buy a basic blank pane, if you had a lot of Rolexes covered, but you miss out the point. You're supposed to be a seagoing man. You should have bought yourself a fucking Submariner, no date. That's what the seafaring type goes for. Or a sea dweller, not a fucking blank pane. That's for Nancy boys, like you said here in your paragraph, to wear at the marina. Tell us about the ball engineer. Is it garbage? Of course, but what kind of movement does it have? A Valjoux, perhaps? Is it worth anything close to the 2,500? Show us a bit of expertise. I very much like the looks of it. The glow is exceptional. You don't get that anywhere else. Tell us. Well, it's fucking ugly. I mean, that just shows the poor taste you have there. It's fucking ball has always been a very entry level sort of. It's not even a luxury watch, really. Ball is kind of mid-tier at best. Of course, we enjoy your outrage and verbal abuse you deliver. But please bear in mind that these are things we don't have to pay money for. I frequently get it for free at close range. It's your expertise we pay for, and I have to be completely honest with you. In AU25, you did not deliver. Cheers, Matt. Okay, that's fair point. Fair point. Maybe I did let the side down there. And because of that, we're going to have a bit more of a closer look. So, less asshole, more fact. How does that sound? So let's start it again. We'll do these 4 watches again, and we'll go through them in a bit of detail there. So let's do that, fuckers. Okay, this is for Matt. We're going to look at, firstly, let's talk about his Rolex Daytona. Now, I got to say, Matt, maybe I was a bit heavy-handed before. Maybe I was a bit out of place. So let's have a look at it. I wish you would have told me the reference number of it. Is it 6263? Whatever reference it is there, but it's a 4-digit manual wind chronograph. Now, I got to tell you, you are so lucky to have that watch. That is, people dream of owning that watch. I would say personally, be very careful with it. Don't use it near water, especially in the condition you've got it a bit damaged there. I wouldn't be wearing it at all, because you could damage the thing. So what would I do? Now, this is the terrible thing. What do you do with that? You've got to be so careful how you get that serviced or restored. The biggest danger is you send it to Rolex, and they want to replace the dial and the hands. That would be the biggest mistake. Whatever you do, the value in that watch is the dial. So you do not want to change that dial. You must keep that dial. I got to be honest with you. That watch there, yes, it uses a Valjoux 727. Now the thing is, you made a comment and said to me you're disappointed it's not in-house. Well, Rolex movements used to be made by a company called Aigner. That's who used to make Rolex movements until Rolex bought them out. That's exactly right. That's what happened. Rolex bought the company out. So that claim of, it wasn't, these aren't in-house, it was that was the sort of the time. And I got to be completely honest with you. It's kind of how things developed. Okay, this is what happened there. There's nothing wrong with the Valjoux 727 type of. There's nothing wrong with that movement there. The 727 was used by a number of makers there. It's a manual wind movement. It's quite, that was kind of, even Patek Philippe at that time, well, even up until Patek used to use Lemania for their movements. So I got to be completely honest with you there and tell you, you've got to understand that it's a different time. That's what sort of happened. So to actually put it down is technically wrong there. It's not, that's not quite true. So you do want to be careful with how you say that. But I mean, the Daytona itself is probably the most, in the day they weren't desired. That was exactly true. So what happened? Why did it go this way? And the honest truth is, the reason why it's gone this way is that it's just how the cookie crumbles. And the Daytonas weren't even liked in the day. Now they are so valuable. So, don't be hard on that piece. My best advice to you, the biggest problem is that some bastard who you think you can trust will pinch parts, okay? That's the biggest problem with that watch. So you've honestly got to find someone to restore it. Would I send it to Rolex for overhaul? I'd be very careful. I would be very careful with what they say, because if you're not careful, some bastard could swap some key bits out of it. So I'd want to know exactly. I'd probably get the thing photographed before and after I'd sent it to Rolex, and I would say, do not change dial, do not change hands. I would be very insistent on that, because that's where a lot of the value is. You're very lucky to have it. It's an amazing watch. It's just become, it's kind of like the holiest of holy grails. So be very thankful that it is your watch there. Be very thankful indeed, because not many people in life get that sort of that kind of luck. They don't get that. They don't get that sort of thing happening to them. So I would say you've been extremely lucky to have that. I mean, a lot of people in the day didn't like it. They didn't like it. Actually, I must apologize there. The company that made the movements for Rolex was actually, I think I spelt it wrong. It's AEGLER. That's correct. And they basically they got taken over by Rolex. So that's kind of what happened there. So look, as far as it goes there, the Valjoux 727, incredibly valuable watch. It's like the valuable Pateks aren't the in-house Pateks, they're the one with the Lemania movement. So, and don't forget, Lemania did a lot of work, but Patek also did a lot of finishing and other things like that. So let's talk about your next piece, which is the Patek Philippe. And you got a bit shitty with me because I couldn't be bothered in looking it up. And I really wanted the reference number. I wanted you to give me the reference number because that tells me, you know, the reference numbers tell me approximate age, and it gives me an indication of where it came from. It turns out yours is a 1491, which has the scrolled the lugs. The lugs are very unique. And I got to be honest with you. Look, it's not a hugely valuable watch. It's a, what is it, 35 mil sort of Patek. It's a very early watch. You're talking 1940s. I thought it was 60s. So I got to be honest with you. It is older. Normally with Pateks, like you remember the Patek, the famous Calatrava, the 96, reference 96, and as time has gone on, Patek's reference numbers now, what do they use? The reference number, well, I'm wearing a 5127, so it's the fives. The Nautilus is a 5700 series, so a 1491, that's pretty damn old. Pretty damn old indeed. So I got to tell you, that Patek it's not super, look, it's, who wouldn't like a heirloom Patek? I would probably say to you, it's kind of just a very cool thing to have. It's a shame you didn't make any mention whether you had the box or papers for it, but I assume not, because most people have lost those sort of things there. It's a lovely watch. I'd probably get an estimate from Patek. Sometimes Patek's not the best to service it. Sometimes an independent would do that much more affordably, because you don't want to overcapitalize on it. But I got to be honest with you, the other thing that disappoints me with that Patek is, you mentioned it came on a gold bracelet, which you then make reference and say, well, you put it on a leather strap, which kind of defeats the purpose, because if it's very hard to judge these things. If it's like, the reason I asked you the reference number, because that would tell me whether it came with a metal bracelet or it came on a leather strap originally. Was it a Patek strap, or was it sold by the house, the watchmaker who was selling, like a lot of them added third-party straps to it. So when I ask you for these questions, that's why, because that can have a big bearing on the piece. But look, it's a cool piece. Unfortunately, it's a little bit small. That's the problem with it, and obviously it doesn't have complications. But I mean that to have a relative who had a Patek in the 40s, oh my God, that was very, very well off indeed. And so that's my opinion on that. There, the blank pane flyback Monaco. I got to be completely honest with you. That is just a fucking ugly watch. Okay, that is just a fucking ugly watch. It really doesn't do much for me. Limited edition, I think they would have struggled to have sold them. They were so fucking ugly. Look, you're a fisherman, you're a skipper on a vessel, buy the fucking Submariner. Buy the fucking Submariner. The Monaco is for fancy-wancy Riviera playboys who have one of those teak boats. That's what the blank pane is for. If you're a skipper on a vessel, fuck, get the Note 8 Submariner. That's what I would be doing. Get the Note 8 Sub. I know it's not as refined as the blank pane, but the blank pane is a bit of a, blank pane used to use Valjoux movements. There you go. They used to use Valjoux movements, and I got to be completely honest with you, blank pane's very prestigious now, and it's this and that, but it's a lot of fucking hype over not much substance. They've kind of, it's kind of like, people who pretend they were so aristocratic, then you find out in their family tree their grandfather run a whorehouse. You know, that's the kind of aristocracy, this kind of fake bullshit. So I got to be completely honest with you. The blank paint itself is just a fucking awful watch. You should have got the Submariner any day of the week. And then finally, the ball engineer. And I got to be honest with you. I've got to hand it to you. That is the most ugly fucking watch I've seen in a long time. That is a fucking dog. A fucking dog. It's a dog with fleas. Ow, ow, ow! It's a dog with fleas, man. That is fucking ridiculous. I mean, come on, man. You're on a vessel. You don't have a lot of money. Things have gone a bit tight. I understand. I can see it. Your grandfather had Patek. You had a Daytona. Then you've gone in. Then you had to go to a ball. Money's tight. If you've got money's tight, buy a fucking Tudor Black Bay. That's what I would have done. Bought a Tudor Black Bay. The ball is just fucking disgusting. Okay, I'm not gonna fucking lie to you on that one there. That is one of the most ugliest fucking watches I've ever fucking seen. So come on, man, come on. But look, you've really had some good luck. You've got the Daytona. What would I do with that Daytona? I would be very hesitant to get. I'm scared of Rolex pinching parts. I'm scared of specialist watch dealers pinching parts. Vintage is a fucking minefield. I would probably myself, I would possibly engage the services of an expert and say, what would you do? I'd get a few opinions, maybe get a quote from Rolex, but, you know, get it photographed before you take it in. So if they pinch anything, you could catch the sons of bitches out. You've got to be so careful because it's so, when something becomes so valuable, slimy sons of bitches come out of the woodwork and, you know, it's just the reality. I'd get it beautifully restored. I'd keep dial in hands and, you know, maybe a light polish would be about it. But that thing, and I would get advice from a vintage expert as to the best thing to do with that. You're so lucky to have it. I hope you'd see, this is what annoys me with your email. You didn't tell me, have you got box and papers still? You haven't mentioned this, and that stuff is, you know, that's what I want to know. I want to know that. You're just not an enthusiast like me. It's so unfair, but anyhow, I reckon that one there is a fucking beautiful watch. And the Patek, I gotta tell you, I love the lugs. The lugs are fucking amazing. Yes, you had me at the lugs, okay? That is, it's not a greatly valuable watch, but again, what annoys me is you didn't tell me, but have you got box and papers? Have you got the original bracelet? You said you mentioned the bracelet, but you didn't tell me, is it a Patek bracelet or was it you know, often these jewelry places, they put on a bracelet. It wasn't necessarily a Patek bracelet. I want to know. That's what I want to know, man. But anyhow, the blank paint, you should have got the sub, and the ball, fuck me dead. I'm not gonna fucking lie to you about the ball. That is an ugly fucking watch. Hi guys, it's Paul Pluta. And today, guys, I would like to talk about a new sponsor, which I'm very proud to have on board. This is the Fur Boutique of Germany. That's correct. And, you know, before you start getting really crazy with the animal libbers and all these crazy left-wing communists out there, I want to say to you, furs have been used by man for hundreds of years for warmth and to show luxury and superiority. And I'm very proud to hook up with Fur Boutique of Germany. That's correct. These people here know quality fur. In fact, I'm going to be ordering a fur coat very, very soon for one of my lady friends. That's correct. Yes, that's correct. So this is fur. I got to be honest with you. This is recycling at its greatest. This is it's a fur. They're selling quality furs in Germany. These are on the pre-owned market. This is like the watches, the Rolex watches. I'm saying buy pre-owned, no different with luxury fur. I highly recommend it. This company here, they ship Fur Boutique Germany. They ship via DHL Premium. They are quality sellers. They have over 500 fur coats in stock. Large quantities, good quality. This is a chance to live the dream. Come on, guys. We know in the 70s, you know, all these animal libbers and fuckers, they all went nuts. But these fucking little rodents, you befriend these rodents, they bite you. They bite you. So wouldn't it be nice to make these little fuckers into a fur coat? So I got to be honest with you. I totally support fur. I totally support fur. I totally support it. And if you raise the furs in a humane, raise these animals in a humane environment, and then you turn them into coats, well, who am I to say anything wrong with that? We eat meat, we eat cow, don't we? We eat cow. I'm a meat eater. I'm not a lesbian, left-wing vegetarian. No, I need my proteins. I'm very proud to be associated with Fur Boutique Germany, and I stand behind their full range of stock. Thank you. Click on the link down below to visit their store.
Oh. Hey Archie Luxury fans, if you're into luxury, then you gotta be into 66 Buick Rivieras. Check out my son and I, Alex, as we restore this beautiful 66 Buick.
Neighbors are having a picnic, you know, having fun and stuff. Me, I'm doing cars. It's what I've done my whole life.